Very interesting times in Nigeria as the Kano State government has announced a 1 trillion naira metropolitan rail service, and it has been approved by the federal government. Nigerian people are asking one question: what kind of rail service, system, or whatever would cost the country this much? And is it a priority for the people of Kano State? Gentlemen, let's get into this conversation as it hot. How feasible is 1 trillion naira for a metropolitan rail project? Philip.
Yes, you see, when Yusuf defected to the APC, he said it's for the prosperity of the Kano people and for progress and to ensure that Kano is in consonance with the central so that there will be development. And truly to his word and to the federal government, to the APC-led government, he had defected and the federal government had deemed it necessary to, to approve a trillion naira for the benefit of the Kano people to, put in place, a way within Kano to serve the people in Kano. Don't forget, Kano is the economic, hub of the north, just like Lagos is. And Lagos presently has a metropolitan rail that is servicing the Lagosians for ease of business. I think that's what they are trying to replicate in Kano. And this is the reason why he defected to APC, as said by him. The question now is that, is this true? Is he a kind of, a bribe or a kind of a bait for the Kano people to come over to APC, or is truly for, developmental reasons?
Well, these questions keep making Nigerians ask, what do you think, Okafor, about this? Do you think that there's some kind of game being played, or is it just the Nigerian populace not trusting their government?
Yeah, I think I'm looking at it holistically about our government not having what we call, long-term focus. You see many bus stops being constructed, and after they are constructed, these bus stops will be converted to where madmen sleep and where people selling tomato can now start hawking tomato, or where somebody want to roast corn will start roasting corn. These were bus stops that were budgeted for and built, completed, commissioned, but there are no buses running in that route. So they are not in use. You see projects that are isolated like that from the usefulness. We don't have this kind of having overall integrated system of hub of what we want to do, because everything is politicized. The person that built that bus stop want to build and just commission and collect his kickback and go, or he has promised people in that area he's going to do so. So when you have our project politicized, the inability of the government to separate governance from politics. Yeah, there are some points where they come together, you can't deny that, but once the election is won, can these people please dedicate as much as possible? See, they can do up to 95% of the time being dedicated to governance, so that first of all you check Kano State. Do they really need this more than Lagos State? If Lagos South, do they need it more than Port Harcourt? If Port Harcourt, do they need more than Abuja? Because this is a federal funding. You should consider Nigeria as a whole if we want to have a metropolitan transit system across major cities. It has to be a project, not something to politically reward somebody. And if they do, they could even announce it and it might not come into fruition.
Now, here is one thing that that is making a lot of people bat at it. We know that the Kano State governor has just moved to the APC. And shortly after that move, this announcement is being made. A lot of people have it, they're just thinking, well, what if this was what, because we've had governors say the APC is putting pressure on us. Could this be one of the things that the federal government might be using to get them to decamp? They'll say, oh, if you move to the APC, you get something for your state. Do you think that's a possibility, or we are just
it is not a possibility. Take your mind back to Delta State. When the governor of Delta State defected from the PDP to APC, he said he did it for the sole reason that Delta State could attract more development. And shortly after he defected, the Warri MP that has been moribund, has been abandoned, was said to be, getting the nod of the federal government to be reactivated or revived so that it can go into business. We have the governor of Plateau saying why he defected for the benefit and the good of the Plateau people, because they need to be in tune and in consonance with the federal government. We also had the governor of Taraba also make the same claim, and we also hear the governor of Akwa Ibom on the same thing. So it is a kind of a bait being put out there, by the APC government to attract the opposition governor to it. But the question is this in a deception, especially the one of Kano? What is the possibility that this race track or whatever
the system
they promised the Kano people? What is the possibility that this government will be able to implement it before the end of
what makes you question it? What makes you question? Is it that the federal government cannot afford $1 trillion? Because of course they can.
It is not,
or is it the political will to actually go ahead and get it done?
The question is it just a political statement, or they meant what they said from their heart?
If you listen to what this activist Madi Shehu said, he says 1 trillion naira Kano Rail station, Kano Rail project is a deception from the governor after he has joined the reptile and the
crocodiles.
Gorilla Club. So he's calling APC Gorilla and Reptiles Club. So he's just trying to use that to shade, to cover the shame. It's not like it's a developmental stride. Like you have done something wrong, and people say, "Why did you travel to Sambisa?" I say, "No, I'm coming with the goodies." So just to cover the error that you have made, or the survival game here.
I know you were just quoting someone, but do you think that the decamping of the Kano State governor to the APC, do you think that is an error?
It's not issue of thought here. You come to the fundamental issue of APC campaigning vigorously against NNPP in 2023 election, and the people looked at APC, they looked at NNPP, they say we are going to give our mandate to NNPP, and the people gave the mandate to NNPP under the leadership of Governor Yusuf. And you got to a point, you decided to take that mandate that people gave to you to the people they rejected at the polls. The people rejected APC in Kano State. Now you are taking their mandate to the person they rejected. When you do such thing, what would people be thinking? Because this issue of what you think is about what the Kano people are thinking. The Kano people accepted NPP. They accepted Governor Yusuf under the manifesto. Just not to digress, a while ago we were talking about ADC, the new party in quotes, trying to put their manifesto together. And at the end of the day, the people you vehemently worked against, you are not going to meet them. The people you told us were not good enough.
Now, here's an angle, and I want to get your perspective on it, Philip. Here's an angle that a lot of Nigerians do not look at. We always say, oh, you campaigned against these people, you said you didn't like their policies. Where's the place for growth? Where's the place for change of heart? Where's the place to say, oh, I was wrong at some point, I didn't understand it. Now I'm in the system. Now I've gotten to understand how these people work, and I feel like they're doing a better job than my own people. And it will serve the interest of the people that I represent for me to move on there. Where is the place for that? Or do people just have to stay on one, like whatever you've chosen, the party you've chosen is where you have to remain? What if all of they start to misbehave?
The truth remains that today we have people who are in government who felt they are in government without law and order, because there's a constitutional provision, there are requirements for you to be in government as far as it's a democratic rule. You're supposed to belong to a political party, and there are rules. If your party brings you to power and you're no longer comfortable with the party, the law spells out what happened. But today in this country, nobody follows the law, because so long as I'm defending to the power, the government, because your party is also a ruling party. But because the ruling party are the central, which is the problem we have with the kind of federal system we have in this country. Do we really have a federal system? Because if we do, states are autonomous to a large extent. But now, the question you ask, it doesn't even make up. Because if, like rightly pointed out, if both of us went for a contest and then the people chose me in your place, And after some time, and I said, where is the yardstick that he came to the conclusion that his own people are not doing better than he felt the other people are doing better? Who are the other people? He was supposed to be the other side that's supposed to do better.
Yeah, but what if, I mean, look at what happened with what is happening with PDP.
For instance, today in Abia State, although we don't know what's happening, Abia as it is today, Uti is not in APC, he has not defected, he's in another party. And by reason of Uti, we can say that Labour Party as a party, that is a government, is doing very well in Abia State.
You know, in lending voice.
Yeah, but is Labour Party actually doing better as a party?
Yeah, let me come to you. As a party in government, on the line.
In lending voice to what Philip said, you know, if it is the growth of the governor as a governor, or is the growth of the people are assessed by their decision. In this case, every 4 years. But the governor can make it better by applying the law that Philip said. If the governor felt he has grown and become unqualified to pardon that and need to leave, you leave the people's mandate with them. And they could call for re-election, or you hand over to the next person who believes in that. If the people think, oh, APC has had a better manifesto, election is coming. You know, you don't just steal a car and you say you agree that you decided that, oh, I need to repent of my stealing, then you dash the car out to someone else because you don't want to steal. No, you return the car to the owner. You don't give the car to someone else because you don't want to drive a stolen car.
Now that
you return the car to the owner.
Yes,
because that's to show growth, not giving the car to another person.
In addition to what he's saying, that is why the activist is saying that it's a deception.
It's a deception.
The deputy governor, on whose platform they were elected, is still a member of
and now, to worsen it up, Philip,
yes,
they have done the wrong thing at telling the deputy governor to resign.
Okay, so here's my question. Who then, for the layman out there, that's something I'm driving at, who then has the responsibility of prosecuting these people? Because it's illegal.
No, it's the people.
It's
and
the people.
Party that they are living.
Because it has become quite a normal thing.
Because if you go to the Supreme Court judgments, let's use Amechi's case, that established that the vote cast belonged to the party. And NPP can go to court.
But have they?
That's that. Then one, the deputy governor can request to be sworn in as the governor. You okay? The people that voted, who are the original.
Why then have we not had that happen in any of the states?
Yeah, they're not doing it because one, they need to go through the court system, and like you and I know, they believe they might not be able to get it run out before the time. Oftentimes, the confidence in the judiciary is also not there. And also, you have to have the individual courage of these people to not be politically correct, because they stand to lose something when they fight the establishment. Not everybody is ready to fight the establishment. You know, the deputy governor still want to be there. Even as much as he doesn't like APC, he still doesn't want to lose his seat. So some people may want to come out and fight to finish. It's not everybody that has that power.
Peter, Philip, you are going somewhere with this.
Yeah, you see, I can't help but to agree with him. You know, the deputy governor is the person that will lead the fight as it is. Because if you remember the case of Amechi, Amechi was the rightful candidate of PDP for that election. But it was Meha was superimposed in his name. He fought to the end, from the trial court to the Supreme Court. We have, may so rest his spirit, Egrugiak of Bayelsa, who had the opportunity to test this, the law in regard to where the governor decided to leave the party and decided to take the mandate away, and the deputy governor said, no, I'm not going anywhere. But he never lived to do that. But now we have another case in hand in Kano. The deputy governor in Kano reserved all eyes are on him to test the jurisprudence of the court, even though the judiciary trust has been eroded. But this is the time to also prove that whether they will come back their senses or they will remain where they are. Because as it is, the deputy governor is the person that is remain with the mandate. Because what is the word deputy governor? Is to deputize. But when the governor is not there, he step into the shoes of the governor. Now that NPP, who won the election in Kano State, do not have a governor by reason of his living, in the eyes of the law, is dead, the deputy governor should step in. So he should go to court and reclaim his mandate, supported by the NPP itself.
Well, Nigerian politics will continue to make you question whether or not you understand the law in Nigeria. Very sad happenings. Continue the conversation in the comments. A question still lingers in my mind, and I'm hoping your mind as well. If we continue down this path, what then is the hope of democracy in Nigeria moving forward? Have a beautiful day.